This is the plaintiff, Marilyn Kushner. She says she was parked on the street, and when she returned to her car, she saw a dent on her fender and a note that read, "Call me." Turns out the defendant hit her car, left his number, and now he's giving her the royal runaround and won't pay for the damages he caused. Why would you leave a note and then act like a jerk? She's suing for $700, the amount of her damages. This is the defendant, Mitchell. He says the plaintiff was parked illegally, which made it very difficult for him to get out of his spot and to a doctor's appointment. The plaintiff was blocking the driveway and a fire hydrant, for goodness sakes. He does admit dinging her door, but there's no way he's responsible for paying for the damage because she created a hazard by blocking him in, and that's not right. He's accused of banging the door.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket. The plaintiff doesn't know why she's here. The defendant hit her car, left a note, and now won't pay. But the defendant says the plaintiff caused her own problem by parking illegally. It's the case of, yeah, I banged you, but I'm not paying.
Okay, Marilyn Kushner?
Yes.
You are suing Mitchell, you've asked to be referred to only by your first name, for $700 to repair a dent to your Lexus that happened when he pulled out of his driveway. Tell me what happened.
My husband and I, we went to our grandson's graduation, and we parked the car on the road. And when we returned, we actually saw a dented fender and a little note from someone telling us to call him.
From someone saying, people think I'm writing my name and number, I'm not, or actually writing his name and number. Actually writing his name and number, left on windshield, call me. Ooh. So did you see the dent first or the note first?
Actually, we saw the note first.
And then did you look around for a dent?
And then we looked around, right,
Yeah.
and then we saw the dent, right.
Right. And so you called him. Where is this picture taken?
Okay, that picture really, actually, this is the actual, this is a picture of our car in front of the house. That
Parked where it had been parked at the time?
Yeah, more or less it was parked at that time.
Okay, the house is where? Here?
No, the house is across the street. That's the house.
That's a picture of the house.
That's a picture of the house,
So
right.
you were parked across the street along the...
Opposite the driveway.
Opposite the driveway, but across the street. So you're actually parked in
Exactly.
front of the house. It's across the street from him.
Yes, it's across the street, exactly.
Okay. All right. And so you call him, and what does he say?
I called and I left a message. I left a message for him to call back. He called back that evening. I wasn't home. My husband was home and took the message. He said that he was responsible. He dented the car and he's responsible to repair it.
So right there, I'm thinking, all is well with the world.
So far, so good.
We found an honest man.
Right,
In this
exactly.
world where everyone, and yet I can't help but notice that I'm here. So what happened? What went wrong?
What he wanted was an estimate, a written estimate. So he gave my husband a fax number, and my husband said, who do I fax it to? He said, Mitchell.
Okay, so can you come on up?
Okay.
I assume that's your
Yeah,
husband,
tell
not
my
your
husband.
boyfriend, or maybe both.
Okay.
You're the husband. You can just stay right there. Stay right there.
You're good.
Right there.
Okay.
What did he say to you?
He said to me, send him an estimate, he'll pay for it, he's responsible.
Okay.
I said,
Weren't you happy though? Like I'm always happy when I find somebody.
Yeah, we were happy too. It's,
Right? Like, did you say this is, I asked, because my daughter's 17 years old and she hit somebody in a parking lot. And she wrote her name and number. Well, she actually wrote her name and my number and left it on the windshield. I was so proud of her because it means I'm doing something right. But I'm so shocked because I work here. But I'm just, people stink sometimes. And didn't you have just this milk of human kindness, love, kumbaya thing going for 10 minutes? All right, when did it change? What happened? He thought it was too high?
He never said that.
What did he do, just ignore you?
Yes.
All right, what's going on?
Okay, basically, everything they said so far is correct, but the issue was that they parked in front of a fire hydrant.
Okay.
When I did speak the very last time, I told him I had to think about it and I'd be in touch
Yeah,
with them.
okay, hold on. You're backing out of your house.
Yes.
The car is across the street. You misjudge and you hit a car that's parked across the street.
No, it's not really that easily because it's a thin road and it's very hard to back out when someone's right in back of you.
Did you
And
see the car?
I tried. Yes,
So you were like
absolutely.
6-point turning it?
I had to do
And
a few
who
times.
botched it? You botched it.
Yes.
Okay, so what happened to I will take full responsibility?
So if the car is parked illegally, does the person who hit it have to pay?
I don't think so. I think it's the person who parked, it's their fault because there's set rules and there's reasons why someone.
You guys buying that? What do you think?
No, I feel like if you hit the car, you have to pay for it.
Even if it's illegally parked?
Even if it's illegally parked, it's just the right thing to do.
I'm going with you, going inside the courtroom.
They parked illegally in a fire
What
hydrant.
happened to change your mind? Because they didn't change where they parked.
Right.
At this moment, you were saying, good Lord above. By the way, did you park by a fire hydrant or
Not
something?
the-
Okay.
no,
Do you
yeah.
have a picture of a fire hydrant
Yes,
in front
I
of your
do.
house?
I do.
Let me
Your
see.
Honor.
And
I have 4
by the way,
pictures.
and what bearing would them parking? I thought by reading your answer to the complaint
Yes.
that your allegation is that they were parked blocking your driveway. Okay,
Well, it's almost-
and you don't. I'm talking. You hear me? Or am I just doing that in my mind? All right, and so you're backing out. You're not expecting there to be a car, and boom, you hit. I'm very sympathetic to that because that happened to me. Like somebody parked their car in front of my garage door where I work. And nobody's supposed to be parked in front of the garage door. I'm in an SUV and I end up hitting a car I can't even see in my windshield. So, but that's not your case. This car's parked across the street and you are coming, I don't care how narrow the street is. It's the same street you've lived on for how many years? You know how narrow it is. What possible defense do you have? Other than that they should have gotten a ticket for parking near a fire hydrant somewhere.
I don't have a defense to it. I'm telling you truthfully that they did park in front of the
This is a
driveway.
picture of a fire hydrant, but not in it could be a fire hydrant
If you
anywhere.
look at the picture that they took shows where I could show you where my driveway is.
I want to know why you see a car. Okay, come on out here and put the cars where they were and explain to me why you hit the car. There's your house on top.
This is my driveway.
Okay, take the other car and make it them.
But see, this street is a lot skinnier than that. So
Right.
it's more like the driveway's here, they're right there, right blocking the driveway. And as I'm backing out, I had to go like this.
Stop. Cars are allowed to park on that street, right?
This is a legal spot. That's in front of a hydrant.
Okay. I still don't know that there's a hydrant there. You say there's no hydrant there, and I don't have a picture in relation to your house to see a hydrant there. I just have you taking a close-up picture of a hydrant. Okay? But at the end of the day, let's assume they were illegally parked in front of a hydrant.
Mm-hmm.
What bearing would that have on the accident?
I had to go like this.
What bearing?
I
Yeah,
had to
but
go
no.
back and forth.
Stop. You saw them. Once you see them,
Mm-hmm.
you have a responsibility to get out in a way that doesn't hit them.
Okay.
Either don't get out or get out in a way that doesn't hit them, which I'm looking at the pictures. I know that it's the angle, I understand, but still, that picture doesn't show like it's a 2-lane highway, right? A lane this way,
Yes.
a lane that way. How narrow is it? Would you just pay the people? I can't believe you made them come here. $700 verdict for the plaintiff. That's my judgment.
So would you just pay the lady? That means the defendant lost this case. Here you are. What's your reaction to this?
I accept what Your Honor says, and I tried to do the right thing.
Why'd you leave a note if you weren't going to pay?
It's not that I wasn't going to pay. I did tell the people I'd get back to them, and this is
You left a note you weren't sure if you were going to pay, and then you made up your mind not to pay. That's what happened?
well, they were illegally parked, sir.
Just because they're illegally parked gives you the right to bang into their car?
Absolutely not.
Okay, head right down this way.
Thank you.
All right, you're welcome. Come on in here and tell me, you satisfied how this comes out?
Absolutely. It was really very, very fast. I really didn't think it would take that short a time
Well,
for them.
when he left you the note, you thought everything was going to be fine, right?
Absolutely. And it's an enigma that after that he lied. He lied about everything.
So why do you think he left you a note?
I have no idea.
Okay. Harvey?
So if you can avoid an accident, even if the other person is parked or driving illegally, you have a legal duty to do it. And if you don't, you're going to be responsible.